Hi everyone, my name is Candace and welcome back to the Happy Professional channel. I am so excited that you all are here. For those of you who do not know me, I am the writer behind the Happy Professional blog, and it is for ambitious college girls and recent graduates, and it's focused on pursuing your goals and dreams God's way. And on the blog, you'll be able to find advice and tips tailored towards interviewing and internships, cover letters, resumes, and so much more. So definitely go and check it out. Now, today we're going to go over how to create your 30-second commercial. Now, if you have no idea what a 30-second commercial is, that is completely fine. That is exactly why you're here. Now, a 30-second commercial is a 30-second introduction of yourself. Now, where can it be used? It can be used at a networking event, during an interview, just meeting somebody randomly out on the street, and also your 30-second commercial can be used at a career fair. So this is very important, especially when you're moving into your career and you're just wanting to know how to properly and confidently introduce yourself. Now let's get started. So I want to start off by reading to you one of my old 30-second commercials that I used when I was interviewing for my White House internship. And first I'm going to read to you my 30-second commercial just so you can have an idea of what a commercial sounds like, a 30-second commercial sounds like, and then we'll go ahead and jump into how to create your very own. Alright, so let's get started. So I begin with saying, "Hi, my name is Candace Saunders. I recently graduated from the University of Houston with a major in interpersonal communication and a minor in marketing. During my time as a student, I worked as an assistant program manager for the Program for Excellence in Selling. There, I worked..." Okay, let me start over. Gosh, I messed up. I'm reading it, I'm trying to read and look at the same time, it's not working, so I'm just gonna have to keep my head down. Okay, so where was I? Okay. During my time as a student, I worked as an assistant program manager at the Program for Excellence in Selling, which is the leading sales program in the nation. There, I was one of 4 assistant program managers. I was responsible for coaching, training, mentoring, and helping to develop 70 of the top sales students. Within the program, I successfully executed the nationwide financial internal sales competition. I partnered with the Associate Vice President at Nationwide Financial to create a strategic plan which was implemented over a 4-month period. In addition, I was the main point of contact and also helped coordinate our semi-annual sales career fair, which had over 100 companies in attendance, and it gave me the opportunity to impact over 700 students' lives by helping to provide both internships and job opportunities. I also maintained relationships with executives of Fortune 500 companies, which are corporate partners of our program. While also being able to build relationships with executives, I volunteered within my sorority, Delta Gamma, in our philanthropy service for sight. And I am currently volunteering with Big Brothers Big Sisters Mentorship 2.0 program. Having the opportunity to gain these experiences has helped me to develop a deeper passion to continue being a leader both to others and within the community. With these skills, how would they be applied if I was on the advanced team?" So the advanced team was the Office of Scheduling Advance. It was one of the offices there at the White House that I was interested in interning in. There we go. That was my 30-second commercial, but I was like reading it and going back and forth. So obviously it'll be 30 seconds when you read it, because you're not going to be like reading it off your phone or a piece of paper during your interview. To go back, I want to talk about where a 30-second commercial, where can it be used? You can use this at networking events, at a career fairs, and during interviews as well, or just meeting somebody random. That is where you'll use a 30-second commercial. So let's jump in and help you make yours. So the first thing that you're going to need to do, the first thing you're going to focus on is what you currently are doing or what you previously did. So that is the first part of your 30-second commercial. As you might remember from mine, you're gonna write what you previously did or what you're currently doing. So mine was, I recently graduated from the University of Houston with a major in interpersonal communication and a minor in marketing. So let's say you're still in school, you'll just say, I am a student at Notre Dame, if for an example. I'm a student at Notre Dame and I am majoring in economics. So that's an example. You'll just say your school and say what you're majoring in. Or if you have a minor too, you don't have to have a minor. That's the first thing that you're gonna mention on your 30-second commercial, what you're currently doing or what you previously did. Now, the second part to a 30-second commercial is listing the responsibilities that you had during that position that relate to either the job you're applying for or who you're speaking to. This is so important that you make sure you tailor your activities exactly tailored to whoever you're speaking to. So, for example, on television, they play commercials for baby diapers in the morning time. Like probably around starting at 5 a.m., probably ending closely around 10 a.m., right? Have you ever seen a commercial for baby diapers at like 1 a.m. in the morning or like 12 a.m. in the morning? Those on the marketing team who are sending out that commercial know that their target audience is awake really early in the morning with their toddlers. So they're going to have their commercial airing at that time because that's when they know their target audience is watching television or has the news on. That's how much thought that they're putting into their commercial to make sure when it is airing, their target market is watching. So you yourself, when you're creating your 30-second commercial and you're writing your activities, you want to make sure that it aligns precisely with who you're speaking to. You just don't want to add some random activity that doesn't relate to whatever position you're applying to. It's important for it to be specific and tailored to your audience. Now, the second part, as we were just talking about, for mine were my activities. So 2 things that they focused on at the White House when getting an internship was community service or commitment to public service and leadership. So those were the 2 things I talked about in my 30-second commercial. My leadership experience and my commitment to public service. So as you remember, I'll just read one of my examples that I did. I read that I was responsible for coaching, training, mentoring, and helping to develop 70 of the top sales students. So that focuses on leadership. And then I go down to the bottom of my commercial and I said that I volunteered within my sorority, Delta Gamma, in our philanthropy, and then I also mentioned how I volunteer with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So something I definitely recommend that you do is to quantify the things that you did. So in mine, as you may remember, I mentioned that I helped 70 of the top sales students. When I talked about the career fair, I said that at the career fair there was over 100 companies and it impacted over 700 students. So that's showing the magnitude of the numbers, and that's really important for you yourself to add to your own examples. For whatever you're doing, let's say you work in finance or the finance committee at your sorority or your business fraternity, whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be a sorority. It can be just anything at your job you're at right now. Let's say you work as a cashier. Talk about how much money you handle. Like, list those specific numbers. Write about how many emails you send out a day. That's all very important when you're speaking to whoever's interviewing you or whoever you're just talking to in general. Just being able to show the numbers. It's very important. Now, the third part of your 30-second commercial is to tie both points together. So as I mentioned, leadership and commitment to public service were the 2 things that my internship was looking for. So it just varies whatever your internship or the position you're applying for. What are they looking for? Are they looking for leadership? Are they looking for commitment to public service? It will say what they are looking for in the job description. So find those 2 things and pull them out. And this is the important part. Step 3 is the transition. At the end of my commercial, I said, having the opportunity to gain these experiences has helped me to develop a deeper passion to continue being a leader both to others and within the community. So there at the end, I tied in being a leader and working in the community. So that's very important. You want to tie both of those, or maybe your position is asking for 3 things. You tie all three things together at the very end. Finally, you want to ask a question at the end, so there won't be necessarily an awkward pause, or just to show that you thought this out. And you'll ask the question at the very end, and it allows them to respond back to your 30-second commercial. My question was, with these skills, how would they be applied if I was on the advanced team? So the Office of Scheduling Advanced, how would these skills be applied? The skills that I just mentioned. So that was my question. So now that you know the 4 key points to creating your 30-second commercial, I highly encourage you to write down your 30-second commercial word for word. And after you write it down word for word, your goal is to practice it in front of the mirror. Practice saying it out loud in front of the mirror, and practice smiling as well, because it makes your voice sound completely different than if you were to say it and not smile at all. And then you also want to be able to practice it enough times to where you memorize it. Because when you're in an interview or you're at a networking event, you're not going to just read it off a piece of paper. And the example I gave you today is not, you don't have to copy it word for word or go exactly by everything that I did, but take this as an outline of how to shape your very own 30-second commercial, because it is very useful and very helpful, and you're going to be able to use this throughout your entire life, because you never know who you're going to meet. I have been able to use my 30-second commercial just in general out and about at the store, meeting someone who ended up helping me towards a business, and they'll just say, so, tell me about yourself, and I'm able to just jump in. I don't have to say the entire 30-second commercial all the time. I can just pull bits and pieces out of it, and that's the whole point. Having this 30-second commercial, it allows you to already know what you want to say about yourself without saying I don't know, tell me about yourself. Well, last weekend I went to a party, or I just went to this cookout. No, you don't want to say that. You want to sound smart, you want to sound educated, you want to sound like you know what you're talking about. And you want to practice to the point to where you know it, but you also don't want to sound scripted. It's that level. So you practice just enough to where you know it, but then also where you can just repeat it off the top of your head. And how you'll be able to throw in this 30-second commercial, I just want to give you a few more examples. I don't want the videos to run too long. But where you'll put in your 30-second commercial in an interview. So you go into the interview, you shake their hand, you sit down, and the first thing they ask normally is, tell me about yourself. And then you'll go on to say, well, I am a recent graduate from the University of Houston. Well, this is as if I were speaking. And I'll just go into my whole commercial. Or even if you're at a networking event and someone says, so what have you been up to? Or tell me about your background, or give me your story. And then you can just go right into it. You don't always have to say all of it in its entirety, but just having this format ready to go will do wonders for you. So I hope that you found this helpful, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to send me an email or leave a question in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you all very soon. Alright, bye!